There's no double echo, is there? You
Nah,
muted
mate.
me on
Nah, mate. Nah, mate.
Discord.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
muted.
yeah.
We're live.
What's
Welcome.
going on? We're just chilling out, you know.
Welcome.
5 minutes. Just wait until everyone gets
Get settled.
Let's move. Stampede shortly. End of the week. What do you think about that? You gonna see Stampede?
Yeah, boy. Next Saturday, Stampede is happening.
I'm saying a Thursday. Why don't
See
you
you
say a
Thursday
Thursday?
because I gotta get up before the morning, and I think there's like a one showing at like 4:30. You know, it's weird, but it is the English dub. You know,
Depressing. You're not in shot, mate. That's a
I'm in
problem.
short.
What's
What?
going on there? What's this ad that I didn't authorize? What's this?
You got the ad because
6
there you
stock
go.
effects.
It's not stock effects. Zero stock effects. What are you talking about? Hand drawn. Where's the stock effects?
How can we get the Japanese sound effects going
Because
on?
he's a Japanese man.
Today's man, yeah. I thought so.
Where are the stock effects?
I just look like a stock effect from this far away.
What the text?
The lines.
Wow, you're just a fucking white line with a big glow on it.
Yeah, no, but what's
Beep.
this video called? 94. It's not 94. It's 97.
98.
98. There you go.
People piling in.
Apparently, we got one viewer.
One viewer. I don't think our Discord bots, but he picked it up yet.
6.
Alright. People piling in for episode 98. Alright? 98. Episode 100. A mere 2 weeks left.
Yeah.
Next week, episode 99, the Stampede episode. Stampede Special Bonanza, alright?
We got a chapter as well, though.
We also have a chapter, but you know what that topic of the show is, boy. And that's obvious. Alright? It's going to be a long show. We're going to talk about a chapter. We're going to talk about Stampede. And that's obvious. And that's next week. So this week, the classic live stream format, we got call-in topics. A few topics here, you know. A few interesting topics. Let's see who turns up. Let's see whose mic works. Maybe a few YouTuber guests will arrive. You know, Dritz will take it over again. I'm not allowing him in this time. We're kicking him out. Alright? Dritz Coon cannot take over the stream every time. Alright? We'll have Silvers. Maybe if he turns up. You know, people want to turn up. Alright. We're gonna have Strong Shakes. We're gonna talk about the show. Talk about the show.
We haven't started the episode yet, and you're already dishing off.
Well, I'm just telling the people, alright? Telling the people.
Alright.
Talk about the show is ecosystem writing, alright? Also known as, you know,
what are you talking about?
Planting seeds. How to write for a long time, alright? Big brain plays. How to set them up. How to write them.
It's just coming off my rant last week.
Yeah, I'm like, people like the big brain topic of the shows. Alright? Got a good reception from last week, so I'm like,
you're gonna get sizzled, Christian.
By who?
I'm gonna put you under the microscope.
Alright, well, you got all the dot points there if you want to read through them?
Nah.
We got live power scale now. Maybe the power scale changes a little bit after episode 100. Maybe that's a little teaser for you.
You got ideas, do you?
I got ideas.
Alright.
Some sort of matchup series, alright? Because we got the characters on the list now. Now we can talk about some matchups for you. Alright. We're 2 minutes away from actually starting the episode. So I might as well bring up the power scale so it's ready to go.
Yeah. People can always donate to the channel, Christian. I
Sure.
appreciate that as well.
You can always give us a few donos.
There's no graphics or whatever. This is low effort
Low effort
situation.
situation, but we're not editing this episode. This episode goes out the way it is. Because it's better
Sure,
for the view count.
sure.
Alright.
Now you suggested we do this in the morning, Christian.
Well, we have to do it in the morning, mate. It's the golden hour for the Australian time zone.
Who knows what's going on with these time zones? It's on, now something is on, now something is off. I don't know.
Yeah. Alright, 1 minute away from actually starting. How many people we got in the chat?
We're at 15 or so.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. First calling topic is from Plan. So I hope he's ready.
Do you want us to intro the show, Christian? We
haven't started yet.
We got a couple. There we go. It's 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. There you go. Intro the show.
All right. I guess I don't have to clap, huh?
No, mate. It's this is the way it is.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 98 of the Red Force podcast. My name is Eric Tolato, the host, and joining me today, the guest, Christian Tolato.
Now, I noticed that you have changed up the intro.
Yes.
To make a few things clear.
Very specifically, very clear.
And I find that very disrespectful because we've already established on the co-host. We've already established this.
No, you established this as the host.
It's already been established.
As the host, chairman, CEO, treasurer, and HR department. I nixed that idea.
I find that...
What do you think about that?
Disappointing.
I never received the 5,000
disrespectful
signatures. I never received the 5,000 signatures. That was a deal.
Disrespectful.
Okay, that was a deal. Now,
sort of, devaluing my contribution to the show.
Yeah, that's right.
All these kinds of disrespectful things out of this man.
Yeah, but Christian, episode 100 is coming up.
That's true. Episode 100. All your favorite guests.
Screaming at each other.
The battle zone, alright? We got...
Did you decide what you want to do for that yet, or are we just going to throw everyone in?
Well, we gotta see who's turning up first. Who's turning up?
Everyone will turn up.
Everyone is here, alright?
Yeah.
Apparently. So, get ready for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try and master my hockey for that. To keep that on the rails.
Oh, you gotta drink those eggs.
Alright,
You gotta start training.
Try and keep the episode on the rails. Episode 100. Will it be live streamed? Maybe, maybe not. What do you reckon?
Is there any reason not to?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
There is technology problems. We can't live stream, we can't also local record because after an hour it fucking goes framey and shit.
Your computer's real bad, yeah.
So we got some technology issues.
We just put these out.
Yeah, I'm not local recording this episode. We're going straight live.
Yeah.
So let's hope it doesn't get lost to time. Yeah. So, but we want episode 100 to be clean, edited, polished.
Do you think you can clean, edit, and polish the episode?
Well, last week was perfect, so I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
So there you go. All right. Now,
anything been going on this week, Christian? Stampede still out there.
Stampede discussions everywhere because it's the week break, alright?
All the videos.
Haven't watched them, haven't seen the movie. I want to go in fresh. I want to get hyped. I'm hearing all kinds of crazy hype, alright? People saying this is the best One Piece movie.
Now, do you think people give Zed's character too much sauce? I don't know if his character's good.
It's good, but is it One Piece villain standard? No, really.
Does his motivations make sense?
I guess, yeah. His plan makes sense. He makes more sense than Shiki.
I'm not talking about the plan, Christian. I'm talking about his way of thinking. It's very stupid.
He's kind of the Alkainu absolutist.
Did I talk about Pro Mayor last week, or did I see that bit last?
Yeah, you talked about it. You definitely did talk about Pro Mayor.
Yeah. Anyway, in Pro Mayor, there's this trope of like I can't like, oh, I've got to massacre the entire fucking
See,
earth.
no one has seen this movie, and it's gonna be obscure as shit.
Yeah. But the anime community knows, Christian. It's just a general like anime thing. It's like I can't get my way, therefore everyone has to die. But my
Yeah.
way is justified. It's like, no, it isn't. You're just murdering everyone. Don't really understand that trope in the animes.
Well, there you go. There's a trope, man.
Nothing really going on in One Piece land.
Nah.
Everyone's just slowly decaying into dust after they're not seeing Odin cut Kaido.
I mean, we'll get it eventually. Can't get Oden
Uh,
cutting Kaido
Twitter, you
straight
want to
up.
talk about Twitter controversies about fucking that anime that has good animation selling more volumes than One Piece?
What? Fucking Kaiba, whatever called Demon
Yeah,
Slayer.
Demon Slayer. People are like, One Piece is dead.
Okay,
What do you think
well,
about that?
for the month?
Yeah.
I mean, lifetime sales. What are you gonna say about that?
What do you think about?
What do you think about the year sales and how
What
it
do you
did
think
win?
about the one volume? I mean, people are just buying volumes to catch up on the series, so whatever. But yeah,
I
don't worry
mean,
about
I'm pretty sure One Piece has been beaten in the monthlies before or in
it.
the
Now,
quarterlies.
Christian, I went to a bookstore in the city in Sydney yesterday,
Sure.
right? Just strolling around.
Yeah.
Went to the manga section.
Mm.
The only thing of note there was One Piece. Almost every volume. That's interesting.
Because it sells,
Right?
baby. It
Yeah,
sells.
you had like the first volume of My Hero, and then just a bunch of old, obscure, 70s stuff.
That's right. Pick up that Saint Seiya, baby. You got Saint Seiya?
That's a bunch of shit.
Bunch of shit. All right. Now, call in show, which means call in topics. All right, from a bunch of people. Let's see who turns up. Let's see whose mic works. You know, we
Yeah.
got How Strong is Shanks live. How Strong is Shanks prayer. All right, everyone can get involved in that. Then we got topic of the show, ecosystem writing. Little. Everyone enjoyed the big brain
Oh, people love that rant, Christian.
rant last week. So
And
you
you
know,
wanted me to prepare notes, Christian.
sure,
People like the passion.
sure.
There's
And
no
then we
notes
got
that need to be prepared.
Power Scale Live, and then we got the questions. Not a lot of questions this week. The community tab, 0 questions.
Well,
But I'm not complaining.
it was more of an announcement of the show than more asking for questions.
Sure, but I'm not complaining. Because,
If you want to ask questions, chuck them in anywhere. We'll find them.
except Twitter, because,
Christian refuses to Twitter because of
Twitter's
the
annoying as shit.
formatting. Yeah.
Alright. Let's start the call-in show. First person on the list, we got Anthony Plan. His topic, Zoro fighting Orochi.
Yes.
I anticipate some Kinemon
Yeah,
talk.
I assume I'm dragging in Plant
Yes.
or Planty.
He'd like to change his name on a daily basis.
Anthony, you ready? Anthony, you're on the show. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Not
What's
bad,
your
Anthony. We got this topic here. Zoro fighting Orochi. You got 5 minutes. Let's go.
5 minutes. Okay. Well, I don't know. I've been seeing so much talk around people just assuming that Zoro's going to be fighting King. So I kind of wanted to bring it up because I know people automatically dismiss him fighting Orochi just
Yeah.
because he's weak. But even though we haven't seen really him,
Do
I
anything
don't
in
know,
battle,
like
sure.
right, and it's like also the big thing for me, the connection here is that Zoro has that father relationship with Momo. We've seen a little bit here and there, kind of a master father relationship.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking it'd be pretty cool to see them kind of take down Orochi together or something like that. That'd be kind of cool to
Now,
complete their characters there.
we've talked about this a few times. Like, Orochi potentially still a fight that Zoro could do.
I
There's
just don't
nothing
know
that
how it'll last that long.
there's nothing
You
that
know?
really suggests that Orochi is that weak
What?
or that strong. Like, there's nothing either way. It's just like he's a cowardly individual with a stupid.
That's what that's what I try to say too. It's just like whenever I try to bring it up with people, they just kind of come out the gate like, "Oh, he's weak. He'd give Zoro no fight at all," even though we haven't really seen like, sure, he's been a little bit of a coward sometimes in that, but I still think he stood up like against the world government. And so I
We
think it's too
should,
early to say like
yeah,
call him immediately weak and fodder
we
Here's
should.
like
here's
right
my
away.
thoughts on it. We see
Yeah.
him use a gun more than a sword, which I think
Mm.
is a commentary on the samurais and what happened to them. The gun took him over, and the cowards use guns. So I
Uh,
think he's more of a marksman than a swordsman at this point. Like he's
And
actually
also,
he's got headshots on Yasu. He shot that CP0 guy in the head. He's got good
mhm.
marksman skills. He looks like he can't use a sword. He like swings it.
he has it.
He has it. He swings it, misses a
Yeah.
child. Uh, you know, he doesn't look that
And it
skilled with
also
a
seems like
sword.
he's took over like the kind of legacy that Odin had with the two sword style. So maybe
Sure.
he's not even proficient with it. He just kind of took over that persona
Yeah.
as Odin.
So
So
I'm not necessarily sure he would be a good sword fighter for Zoro.
Well,
It
the
would be more like
flashback
a.
should
It
give
would be like
some
yeah.
indication of where he's at. But
It would be if he was to fight Zoro. I don't think it would be a sword fight. It'd be more of a monster fight
and
with
Kinemon
Orochi. Yeah.
should Kinemon would take out Orochi because Kinemon's weak, just like Orochi. So
Yeah.
it'd be a
Oh.
fight.
Okay. All right.
okay, I won't take that slander here. All
No,
right,
but I
man.
think even thematically, Kinemon sort of fits that role better than Zoro because before Wano, we knew Kinemon as Momonosuke's father. He's the one who's been traveling
Mhm.
with him. He's the one been taking care of him. He's quote unquote the right hand man of Odin. Surely he wants that revenge for his fallen
Yeah.
master. So I think Kinemon would make more sense even thematically for Orochi. Just
Now, if
yeah.
Orochi, we've talked about this before, but like, I think we've succumbed to the fact that Zoro's gonna fight King.
Yeah, don't like it, but we're
But
getting power ups.
we're getting stupid power
You
ups.
know, we're getting Enmo. We're getting
Right.
crazy shit. Uh,
Uh, but yeah, in the past we've said that Zoro should probably fight
Kirishiro.
maximum like third commander level dudes at this point to make sense.
Sure.
Yeah, like it's kind of that strange thing where he's giving him power ups, but he's giving him power ups, which makes sense for him to fight King. But then he also spends so much time on Zoro with Yasu and
Yeah.
getting mad at Orochi and everything. So like, why
Yeah.
are you spending so much
Uh,
time on this?
and
Why
we've
do you
talked about
care?
like the progression of like Zoro's fighting opponents that are first commanders, and like if he beats King here, him beating like another first commander in the next arc doesn't really do anything.
Well, here's the thing, right? We know, like Zoro, Zoro and King's kind of relationship could develop on the battlefield, where like King's trying to pick off Luffy, and then he clashes with him, and he's like, "You can't just take out the captain. You can do shit like that within the war."
Yeah.
So like, there's ways to
That would
get
be a good moment.
yeah, you can get ways to do it. But here's the problem, right? It's basically like Zoro just got Gear 4, and he's still way behind Luffy, and Luffy, just beat Katakuri. So, first commander
Yeah,
still not happy with it. We'll see what happens. Maybe it's still a tag team fight. We don't know.
maybe like Oda is not focusing so much on the strength of Zoro or his fights. He seems to be kind of focusing on the story of Zoro. Maybe he wants him kind of more involved with Wano and be the hero of Wano and all that, and maybe enrich his character with backstory and all that. Because we haven't got enough before, so this might be the arc where he wants to focus
Uh,
more on that side of
well,
Zoro.
I imagine Zoro will give Kaido another scar with Enma, but that's
Oh yeah,
probably
Zoro
Mm,
has to do that at some point too. But
um, but like Luffy should be the hero always.
yeah,
right.
and Zoro's 100% getting a fight because Zoro always gets a fight. All right, you can't not give Zoro a fight.
It just
So
depends who he
yeah,
gets.
so I
He could
think
get Smoothie. Oh, who knows?
Smoothie.
People forget that Big Bum's side's still here. I
I
forgot to
Also,
mean,
on that
yeah.
little tidbit. But
So
anyway,
there it is. There's will Zoro fight Orochi? I say unlikely. At
possible.
this point, I think Kinemon still fits that bill more, even for his
Thanks,
character.
thanks for coming, Anthony.
Yeah,
no problem, guys. Thank you for having me.
no worries.
Christian, the Orochi situation is still developing.
That's true.
Um,
Even though we're 52 chapters deep.
you get to see his personality here and there. Could he be strong? His Delphi suggests yes.
But
His
his
actions
his
suggest
beginnings suggest no.
yes. So
Because
why give him this stupid Delphi? Is it just for kid him on to use fire on it?
is it because his name's Orochi and the folklore? I don't know.
But the folklore suggests strength, yes.
Yeah, but not necessarily. Like the hero still one shot him, you know. So
Like all points of the story tell us that Orochi should be shit ass weak, right?
yeah.
But I can see the reveal of him like doing something stupid when the war starts with that Delphi. I can see it go either way, and it's like shocking that Orochi's like
Well,
has no power.
can you imagine the villain lineup when it's like Kaido, Big Mom, and then Orochi? Like, get out of here! What are you doing? Yeah,
It's a bit like fuck off.
yeah. So yeah,
Who was
we'll see
Zoro
what happens
fight?
there. We'll see what happens there.
Now the
All
bigger
right,
problem is probably Sanji fighting Queen.
he's got the
That
raid suit. What do you mean? He's got the
yeah,
raid
but
suit.
it's not Edma.
Nah, apparently it caught up Zoro to raid suit Sanji.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right.
Who's next?
Question number 2. We got Lord Zarkon with the last chapter of One Piece. What will it be?
Zarkon, you ready? All right.
Hey.
Zarkon, welcome to the show.
Just before we start, can you clarify for everyone if we have 10 minutes to talk or
Well,
5 minutes to...
Anthony basically took 10 minutes, so
Okay,
you
It's
know,
5,
So-
but you know, we'll see.
okay.
we're not
so
going to
the-
cut
my-
you off.
Topic is the last chapter of One Piece. If this is too difficult to sort of headcanon talk about, we can do the last arc if you'd prefer.
Just do the last. We can do the last chapter. I don't think
Last
the last
chapter.
chapter is difficult.
Yeah,
We all
so
know
it
what-
was...
All right.
Do you reckon it'll be a bittersweet ending? Or do you reckon it'll be everything's tied up? Nothing left?
Depends on your head
there's
canon.
two
All right?
options. Luffy starts the next pirate era, similar to
Yeah.
Roger, which is like cheesy shit, but
Yeah.
yeah, I
Well,
could
I
see
don't
it
think that'd
happening.
be terrible.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad. I could also see like Luffy like becoming Pirate King, and then the story ends.
I
That's
think
another option.
I think the last arc and the last chapter, I think he will already have been Pirate King before then.
Yeah, I think the last chapter will be like probably around the world chapter of seeing everyone reading the newspaper, and then like the crew setting sail. The last panel is definitely the crew sailing into the sunset.
Yeah, my headcanon is the last arc is everything's finished. The Navy are, have been redone. The world nobles are gone, and the last chapter is everybody's sort of mini arc of fulfilling their dreams and whatnot.
I
So-
feel like their
and-
dreams are gonna get fulfilled soon. On the like, we've talked about this, but maybe the next arc's Alabasta. They'll go. Everyone ventures back. You complete like 3 dreams.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they're too busy. I think the world's changing fast right now. I don't think they'll have time to get to the All Blue, and the Void
Here's the
Century
thing.
stuff will probably be when it becomes Pirate King.
Will it be the classic shonen trope of the 10-year time skip? What are we doing now?
I think there'll be a mini time skip, but I don't think he'll make them too old. And I think it'll be because I don't think Luffy is the type of character that will, oh, I'm Pirate King, I'll retire now.
Sure.
I think the last chapter will be them meeting up again.
Dritz
After
is-
a few years, they've
Dritz
all
is-
done their dreams and stuff, and they start another adventure.
Dritz
Okay.
Kun in the chat, while Dritz has appeared, he's gone wild about the whole Luffy influencing the next era. We'll talk about that in a minute, but it's Zarkon's time, Dritz. Relax, alright?
I don't think he would have to, because I think the world
Yeah,
will
it's
change
not-
so drastically.
It's not necessary, but like I like the idea of the universe not ending and the story kept going. Like I'd like to see like Kobe as Fleet Admiral be like on the phone being like capture the Pirate King, and then Luffy like is sailing, and then
Sure.
maybe some Navy cannonballs go off, and
Yeah,
then
the
it
straw
finishes.
hats will sort of save the world, quote unquote.
Zarkon,
But
and then in
As,
One
as,
Piece
as
Z,
always, they won't take credit, so nobody will know. and they'll
Zach-
still fight the Marines.
And in One Piece Z, with a 30-year time skip, right? We'll
Yeah.
see old Zoro. We'll see old Sanji. There'll be some kind of other goal that
I
is
really hope
isn't quite. The
the
goal.
ending isn't sequel bait. I
The goal.
pray.
No,
No. This is the last panel of One Piece, right?
Sail off into the
Luffy-
sunset to start a new adventure. That's what it will be.
Luffy gives Shanks' son the hat, and that's the last episode. That's the last panel, and there you
Oh,
go,
yeah.
and there you
Yeah.
go, and there it is. Starts the next era.
Now, all right, Zach, I'm just gonna answer your question. Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think this? I'm on board with the sunset. I think that's the most obvious option.
I think it
Nah.
will be. I don't. They won't be content with retiring.
And there'll be
No,
like,
I don't think
yeah, and there'll
anything
be
will.
like a massive narrator speech about the journey and shit, and
Yeah.
then the
They'll
crew will be
start a
sailing
journey
into the
again,
sunset.
and then
Yeah.
they'll sail. Yep. To find the next adventure. That's the whole point.
And everyone will
Do
cry.
you think
And then
everyone's dreams will be completed by the end?
yes,
I don't
yeah.
think Zoro is going to beat Mihawk.
Oh, what are you
Yeah,
talking about?
He 100% will.
I think
What?
he becomes Mihawk's new rival.
Mihawk's definitely getting defeated, bro.
Mihawk's getting defeated, bruh.
I reckon it'll be a draw.
That's
Nah.
like gonna be
And
one of the
become
last fights in the
new rival.
story.
Is it gonna be
do
a
you see
draw like
Zoro
Katakuri
becoming the
versus Luffy's a
sword-
draw?
You know,
Zoro will
the
be
best
the sword
swordsman in
god.
the world.
Yes.
And then him becoming bored and disillusioned and basically becoming the second Mihawk.
No.
Yes.
I don't see it.
He won't be the second Mihawk. He'll be on the crew forever.
But Eric, don't you remember the line where Zoro's like, "When I become world's greatest swordsman, I'm leaving the crew."
I'm gonna kill myself. There's
I don't
fucking,
think he will.
there's
I
900
don't think he
chapters
will,
of Zoro developing with the crew. And
No,
people
no,
are
no.
like,
What do you mean? He said it though.
but in Eddie's lobby he said this. Like retards.
Zoro will always be striving for strength and striving to better in himself. So I don't think he'll become the best swordsman in the world straight away.
I mean, the
at
series
end
has
he will.
ended, so you might as well
If
give it
there
to
is a
him.
One Piece C, then maybe he is then. But I could see his dream ending with him
Zarkon,
having
you-
duels with Mihawk.
You gotta understand this. Oda made a promise at the start of the and B.D.A, and that promise must be delivered.
You gotta deliver the promise.
I mean, it could be delivered. Yeah, he could be the world's strongest swordsman, but so is Mihawk, and they're constantly fighting it out.
Nah, there's only one title. You can only have one title,
He-
right?
You
He's
think so?
Yeah.
in the middle of this Mihawk fight, he gets the Black Blade as his final power up and becomes a sword god. And that's how he becomes the world's greatest.
He's
sword
getting the
god.
Black Blade power up this arc, Eric. What do you
Oh,
mean?
yeah, no worries.
Yeah, he's getting...
That makes literally no sense.
Well,
but
there you
whatever.
go.
All
So-
right, thank you, Zarkon.
There you go, Lord Zarkon,
problem.
with his topic. All right. So
I want to talk about this for a second.
Yeah.
Does Drizzt not understand that One Piece is the pirate era started on treasure, not the knowledge of the history of the world?
I don't know why. Like, here's the problem with the history of the world. It doesn't matter because it's 1,000 years ago. So it actually doesn't matter because we've talked about this before, but there's tragedies going on right now. Why does 1,000 years why does the 1,000-year old history matter? Does it matter? Does it matter that the Roman Empire was around 1,000 years ago? Not really. Like, it does. Like, what? It has ripple effects today, but do we penalize Italy for their empire?
I mean,
Oh, not really.
The empire is in power right now, though.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, why does the ancient history matter?
Yeah.
That's the problem with ancient history.
Well,
I mean, it's cool lore.
we talked
sure.
about this before, but it just delegitimizes the government's control.
But
But
not
that-
really, because the government's control is a veil for Aimu. So
Yeah.
they're trying to say we've got democracy,
Every
we've got
time
this, we've got that.
every time we cut to like a village and the navy's there, they're like, "Yeah, the navy's the best."
Yeah, but there's no like decree that we are the Navy, the saviors of the planet. We
mean,
did this, we did that. There's no law to say that the Navy saved the world at one point from some sort of evil force. And then if it's revealed that they actually didn't and they're the evil ones, then it makes sense. And then you can dismantle the government that way. But the law isn't like that. That's the problem with
Drizzt,
the ancient history making
The
sense.
Great Pirate Era started because there's a shitload of treasure at one point.
That's true.
That's why it started. It didn't start because of the promise of the history of the world. So if Luffy's like, my treasure's in one place, It just starts again because pirates want treasure. That's how the story started.
Yeah, like goon pirates don't know about history and shit. Like only Rayleigh and Sengoku and shit know. So like, I don't know what he's talking about.
One Piece Z 30 years later, the quest is to find Luffy. He's disappeared. Where's the Pirate King?
Uh,
I have to return the hat to Luffy. My father's greatest apprentice.
okay. Where is Monkey D?
Pez is on the crew.
Pez.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, I met the Pirate King. Did Luffy meet Pez? Was Luffy in the same room with Pez? In the meeting room, was Pez there?
Yeah, Lola was holding him.
What's that crew look like? Shanks' kid, Pez.
You could have
one of the kids from the Zoro's dojo.
You could have Zoro and Kuina's kid.
Oh yeah.
All right. Third topic from Shadow Badger. Is Denjiro Fujitora? And here we go.
Dritz has gone on about the history again. Dritz, we're saying the history doesn't matter to the world. It matters to the viewers. Because there's already slavery and the Celestial Dragons already exist.
You know what? It doesn't even matter to me. It's just cool lore. It's just cool lore.
Hey, you know what happened, Christian?
Some empire fell. Okay.
Yeah, the empire fell because they were betrayed by some underhanded play. Cool.
It doesn't matter.
All right.
To the world at this point.
Who we bring in?
We're bringing in Shadow Badger. Is he around?
Badger.
Shadow Badger, not Badger.
Yeah. All right. We're bringing you in. Shadow Badger's on the show.
Hello.
Hello, Shadow Badger.
What is your question?
My question is Fujitora Denjiro?
Okay, here we go. You got 5 minutes to talk about this nonsense. Evidence. I want to hear evidence. Your time starts now.
All right. So, firstly, the reason Fujitora blinded himself is because he saw a massive, something about human tragedy, and that human tragedy was Odin's death.
Okay.
So that's the first thing.
That's why he blinded himself.
Yeah. Second thing, with timeline, Fujitora is 54 years old.
Sure.
So the flashback takes 41 years ago. So he would have been 13, which is what Denjiro looks like currently.
Okay.
And then with Denjiro's design, we've seen him as we've seen a silhouette of him as an adult with a sort of long top knot.
Yeah.
Probably relating to his his.
Do you think if Fujitora was indeed Denjiro, he'd push harder to take out Kaido or go to Wano? Why is he in the Navy, and why is his goal to get rid of the warlords? Wouldn't he want to get rid of?
I think the first, because you want to get rid of Don Flamingo. It's just that he wants to get rid of Don Flamingo because he was the second strongest warlord, and so he had connections to Kaido.
Sure.
To And I think and so with the top knot, with Fujitora's design, it's very scruffy, all shaved, and having your top knot, cut off is shameful. So he was ashamed to have let his master die.
Sure.
That's why he doesn't grow his top knot again.
Here's the thing though, like if you look at Fujitora as a character, his only goal is to get rid of the warlord system. We see him talking to Smoker about it, talking to Granball about it, his actions in Dressrosa. The human tragedy, in my mind, has something to do with the warlord system, what happened with the warlords. Yeah, because I don't know that a follower of Odin, from what we've seen, would care about anything else but Odin and the state of Wano. Because him being, the wall system, he would have to have interacted with it at some point. And 20 years ago, so he's 30 whatever, 34 when he leaves Wano, and then he's around in the world for 20 years, and then he joins the Navy.
No, what I think, with the Warlord, him getting rid of the Warlock plan is just, is part of his long-term plan, because, he wants to get rid of all, evil powers. And the, easiest one to get rid of the major powers is the Warlord system. And I think we'll, be shown that he also wants to get rid of all the Emperors in that sense.
Is it possible that Denjiro is Fujitora? Perhaps. Would that be? I mean, it'd get the Navy there.
That's true. We'll get the Navy there. Maybe get the Navy there.
Yeah. And like you can also talk about how both Sengoku and Akinu focused on the Man of Odin in the last chapter they were in, so
Sure.
they must know about his crew, and that's maybe why they employed Fujitora from the World Draft.
Okay.
Maybe Christian started on the World Draft, but that's a different
Now-
story.
So we'll talk about some power scale sort of issues, right?
Well, I just want to make one last point about Fujitora being Denjiro. It's
Sure.
just when when he has his two blows against Zoro, he criticizes his Zoro's fighting slash as ornery, which is like it's like another word for an angry retort or something. So, and because the theory of that Denjiro has Wado Ichimonji, Fujitora might is possibly pissed off that someone like Zoro has his former sword.
Maybe.
Sure.
But
His name, like, we could talk about, the name. We get Isho. We get an Oda box saying his name. We would have to change his name. Also, power scale issues, because we know Ashura Doji is the strongest one. So is Ashura Doji better than an admiral?
I mean, if Ashura Doji had the gravity for it,
I mean,
No, and I think because Odin death took place 20 years ago, I think that could be a catalyst for Fujitora training harder and
okay,
becoming an admiral level. He was probably around maybe vice admiral level or so when he fought Kaido, but now through 20 years of training, he's finally become an admiral level or something.
Look,
Shadow Badger.
We'll give it a maybe.
Yes.
We'll give it a maybe.
Possible.
Right? Plausible.
All
right?
We appreciate you coming on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
No worries, mate.
Anthony gave us 99 cents. We appreciate that 99 cents, Christian.
Can get nothing with that, but that's we appreciate it.
People seem confused about our declaration that the history doesn't matter. And I think it was Ice Cream said in the chat,
Yeah.
1,000 years of oppression doesn't matter, question mark. That's the people have been oppressed for 1,000 years.
They're still oppressed.
The
here and now is more important.
Why does some event 1,000 years ago affect the people that are already being repressed?
Exactly. Like, the world government's... That's what I'm saying. The world government is doing tragedies now. Why does 1,000 years ago matter at all? It doesn't.
People know about Ahara.
Well, they don't know, but they will know.
There's whispers, Christian.
Sure. Yeah, like...
Slaves in everyone knows about Shabondi. Just absolute nonsense going on.
There's already bad things going on.
We saw with Pinkbeard, they couldn't afford the tribute.
Sure. So, they're scraping by, trying to pay exorbitant taxes, right?
Just like us, Christian, in real life.
I'm pretty sure that's why the American Civil War happened, because they didn't want to pay Britain taxes. So
let's bring it into this perspective for a minute, Christian. Say if the Australian government did some atrocity 200 years ago that delegitimizes them, would that affect the people now?
Yeah, it would, but all those people are dead, and they have no relation to the people in government.
There were atrocities committed.
Yes.
And we all know about it, so it doesn't really...
We all know the history, we all know what happened, and we move forward.
People aren't enslaved now.
What'd you say?
People aren't enslaved in the Australian society now.
Exactly, so we've seen improvement.
There's been no improvement in the One Piece world.
Well, there's a veil of democracy, there's a veil of that things. I think removing the veil is more impactful than people knowing the true history.
Yeah.
That's why I think removing the veil of democracy and that kind of stuff, and showing people what's happening here and now is more important than the
Yeah.
ancient
All the
history.
history is going to do is delegitimize the government's position, but it's
But
already
not,
illegitimate.
but not really though, because they're acting like countries in the world have a say in the revelry.
Yeah, but is it
But there's
implied
no
that
there's
like
the only thing you'll delegitimize is the celestial dragons, which everyone hates anyway.
yeah?
Everyone hates them
I feel like
already.
the people actually like the navy though,
Some
and like
some
and
people
they
yeah
destroy the pirates that they don't like. This
yeah,
is bad
but
pirates.
they hate the celestial. Everyone hates celestial dragons.
Yeah.
So like yeah, does the Asian history actually impact the world in any meaningful way? How does that information get out? Who delivers it? Why does it matter? Does the average guy on the street read it and go, "Now I'm going to take up arms against the world government"? Does that even make sense? I don't know. I don't think that makes any sense at all.
It's cool lore for the viewer, but it doesn't
But if
actually
you
affect
found out your country did something 1,000 years ago, right? Well, you might get mad. You might get upset a little bit, but it's 1,000 years ago. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been generations of generations. You have almost no connection to those people 1,000 years ago.
Hmm.
So, there you go. It's my thoughts on does the ancient history actually matter? Not really. Alright. Next topic. From Dart. How to get people into One Piece?
Dart, you ready? Dart, welcome to the show. Dart.
Hello,
Hello, Dart. You're here. Alright.
I am here.
How to get people into One Piece? What do you want to talk about with this?
Well, there's been a couple of things that I've tried and I've done like, cause the biggest thing that people complain about or like they're intimidated is about the giant length of One Piece.
Sure.
Cause 900 chapters, 800 episodes, all that stuff. But for me, my logic is, if you like it, that means there's way more for you to watch and to read.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you do enjoy it. And I've done like I guess a couple quote unquote experiments, even though it wasn't intended. Like I have three friends, and two of them got into One Piece and they love it, and one of them just started.
Yeah.
The one like I talked about in the Discord once in a while, where I watch the anime with my friend. The way I got him into One Piece is I showed him the movie Strong World, because I think if you watch Strong World, like by itself, it's not really that good of a movie. Like it's like a 7 to me.
Yeah.
But like, if you watch Strong World, it has like everything that like One Piece is. Like, it has like all the jokes, the moments, the um, the exploration. Because Strong World has like all that that
Sure.
strong world that
I think
Chico's trying to do.
the biggest hurdle is Sir Village.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, this is how I think you sell One Piece. You sell it as the Japanese Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's about 1,000 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. People still watch them, The link's still there. But they enjoy it because it's interconnecting. It's one big story. It all adds up into a big battle at the end. You sell it like that. You say, this is a big story, sure. But it all adds up. And you always get something. You always get a return on your investment. It's just exactly like the MCU.
You also got to like
Yeah.
people don't want to. People, the biggest hurdle is like 900 chapters, right?
Right.
We got to be like it's not a big deal. Like you don't have to catch up in 2 days.
Yeah, take your
Yeah,
time.
it's like
Yeah.
people think like, oh shit, I gotta read this right away. It's like no, like
Take your
read like a
time.
couple chapters a week or whatever. Take as long as you need to. Enjoy it at your own pace.
Sure.
You've seen like
I
a
have this
bunch
other
of
friend.
you've seen like a bunch of like reactors take years to catch up, like a year and a half, 2
Yeah.
years. But,
Yeah.
I have another friend of mine that got into One Piece because he likes the Muso type games like Dynasty Warriors and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And he started playing Pirate Warriors 3. And he started like, just because you know how they just give you like a TLDR of the story, and he
Sure.
was like, you know what, I'm actually starting to get interested, and like the next day he bought all three of the box sets available,
Yeah.
like the
It's a bit
like
extreme. That's a bit
like the
extreme, but
big
okay.
box set. And
Yeah.
listen, it's whatever.
You can get a
And he just
Viz subscription and read it all. So I don't, you don't have
Yeah,
to
I
buy
guess
all
he
three box
prefers
sets.
having like a physical book, but
Yeah.
that's not the point. Like,
Yeah.
the point is like he loves it. He enjoyed everything about it. He was telling me all about like how about Drum Island. He just finished Marineford and the Ace flashback and all that
nice.
stuff. Like he was telling me how like Brooke is his favorite Straw Hat.
Yeah.
Like his backstory is like the best. So he's getting all excited and shit like that. It was
It's
real
nice.
cool.
It's nice. It's good to see. Now, what do you
What?
think about the jaded One Piece fans? All right, how do we get them back? How do we get the jaded One Piece fans back? I think that's
What do you what do you describe as like a jaded fan?
like people who are like, we're reading Wano at the moment. It's not the greatest arc, but people are like, well, fuck One Piece, it's shit now. How would we get them back? Do we just have to wait for the war to start? Wait for the
Yeah.
Kaido fight?
Christian, people forget that Kaido and Big Mom are ready to go.
Okay. How do we
I
get
think
yeah.
there just needs to be like, at that point for those people, there has to be like that one like big moment.
Yeah. So we just
It has
need
to be a
a
huge moment. It's like, oh shit, I need to catch up now.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Getting people into One Piece, also don't push too hard, you don't have and not everyone has
No,
to
of course
enjoy it,
not.
not everyone has to, watch what you watch, Just
No, of course, definitely.
I feel like there's a secret cabal of One Piece fans in the general public, right?
okay, Secret Cabal, here we go.
Because like, if you start looking around, people know you wear like a One Piece shirt. People know what's going on.
Sure.
There's a
Yeah.
little wink. There's a little nod. It's popular for a reason. I just think people don't even try and bother to preach it because it's such a commitment.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
and
like
also,
yeah, like Naruto's part one is like not that much of a commitment. And people like it's good, so
hmm
they're visible.
Alright. So there you go. That's
I,
that's Dart's topic, how to get people in One Piece. Alright. Thanks for being on the show, Dart. Good topic.
all right. Thanks for having the Blue Force podcast on.
Okay,
Uh,
all right.
Very
Well,
glad to be
I
here.
hope you've received our cease and
Season.
assist from our lawyers. We'll see
All
you
right,
in court. All right. See ya.
all right, no problem. I'll make sure to shred it up.
Uh, another interesting topic, Christian. You got there has to be some. First of all, the cost isn't really a thing now because of that subscription.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Also, Crunchyrolls. You don't have to fuck around with bullshit. Yeah.
So, but like what? It's always if people get to Along Park, they're in. You know.
I think if people get to that Mihawk event in Baradier, they're in.
The bright air there. It's just the
They're
bugging
in.
in
They're
your
in.
villa, just the
Sure.
issue.
Sure. They're in. All
Because
right.
that Romance Dawn, beautiful.
Yeah. All right. I don't know if Guts is around.
Yeah, Badger reckons he's not responding.
All right. So, I guess is Cruisop around?
Cruise in the chat algorithm.
Cruisop with his topic.
Cruise up. Let's go.
All right, are we live?
Cruise up.
We're live. Cruisop, welcome to the show. Your topic apparently is: did Fujitora suffer under the Warlord system personally?
Yeah, so I think that 957 was a really big chapter, so a lot of people kind of overlook this. But anyway, it starts out with Fujitora and Akainu talking over the phone, and Akainu said. Fujitora says to Akainu, "You still think the warlords were a necessity, despite all the sacrifice we had to make for their sake? It must be because you never personally suffered under them." So I think that this means that this probably implies that Fujitora actually did suffer under the warlords, and that's why he has a vendetta against them,
Yeah.
and that's why he blinded himself ultimately. So I think there are about three like realistic possibilities for which warlord like
Yeah, I was gonna
messed him up
say,
pretty
sure.
much. But I just wanted to discuss it with you guys because I don't think a lot of people are talking about it. You know?
Can we take Doflamingo off the table? Because we've seen their
Yes. No,
relationship.
there's no way it's still Flamingo.
Yeah. So
I
here's
think
the
this
problem with it being Mihawk, because Mihawk doesn't do anything. He doesn't, he doesn't go ransack countries. He just kind of keeps to himself.
this
So Miyake has like two things going for him, like why he might be a good candidate. One, he's super strong. Like even if you don't think that he's Yonko level, he's still really strong.
Sure.
And he also just like he destroys some fleets for fun, like Don Krieg, right?
Sure.
So I mean, but I don't think that like Mihawk gets off on making people suffer. I mean, the obvious one is Weevil, just because new character since the time skip. We got Weevil and Fujitora. Their stories align. Like, what do you guys think about that?
Now, Weevil, sure, he's a new character. Weevil's he's hunting the Whitebeard pirates, so I don't know that he's necessarily.
Now, remind me if this is like anime filler or not, but
Yeah.
like the conversation between Fujitora and Smoker in Alabasta, is that real?
That's real. That boat scene, that's real. Yeah.
So is that like Crocodile?
It could Crocodile maybe. Is he a citizen of Alabasta? Maybe.
Yeah.
He should be way stronger than Crocodile. Even 2 years ago. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Crocodile has been like. I think he's been pretty preoccupied with Alabasta, like for the past like who knows how long, and then he's just been doing his own thing, like based on the cover.
897, you said? Or
Yeah.
857?
It was 957.
957.
So this is a really recent chapter.
So it's after Dressrosa, but he could be talking about Dressrosa specifically.
he doesn't necessarily have to be talking about himself. Also, like, he could be talking about it in general.
I feel like him being blind though is connected to his hatred to the warlords.
I think so too. I think that they're probably linked in his backstory, and you know what the other possibility is? I mean, it's pretty out there, but the other possibility is Boa Hancock.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, you want to hear my interconnected theory? All right,
Yeah.
that interconnects Fujitora being also Denjiro. All right, where was Gecko Moria 23 years ago, robbing Ryuma's grave? Now, a man from Wano seeing someone rob Ryuma's grave would be a tragedy, right?
Sure.
So maybe after the death of Odin, he made himself sort of the guardian of Ryuma or whatever, and then fucking Moria comes in, defeats him, and takes Ryuma's corpse and his sword, and then he can't live with himself, and he's seen, the sword god be resurrected, and he's like, okay, this is a tragedy or something. I don't know, some interconnected theory like that.
Yeah, I guess that's a decent theory. I mean, the question is like, do you think that grave robbing is like an offense serious enough to blind yourself? That's a question.
I mean, desecrating a god's.
Seeing Ryuma being risen from the dead might be a tragedy he never wanted to see or something. I don't know. Maybe Moria also massacred an entire village on his way. I don't know. There could be some Moria connection. Because I guess there's not
he's the right age to be Denjiro, is that right?
Yeah, we just discussed that. Like he's the right age, and the timeline matches up there.
There's just a few things like that need to be cleared up.
Yeah, like if the Moria connection's there, then maybe it's possible.
All right.
So there you go. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. This topic's interesting because there's only really a couple options for warlords,
right?
And they're all kind of a little bit iffy. Like, yeah. So maybe he's not talking about it from a personal standpoint.
It could be one of the warlords in the deep past. We don't know how long.
Yeah, like an ancient warlord that we don't know about.
Before the ones we had at the start of the story.
Okay.
It would be better on Oda's part though if he tied it into a character that we actually know, right?
Do we know how long the warlord system's been around? Or is
No.
not revealed.
I want to say that it came in place after Rogers' era, but I just get that
Yeah.
feeling, you know.
Well, they made it to balance the Yonko era.
So yeah, yeah.
Right,
In that
right.
in that Whitebeard era,
There
kind
been
of.
many
Yeah.
characters between those 20 years who were warlords as well.
Sure.
So,
But like people pointed this out to me on Twitter, and I do not think Billy Canada. I think she's like the third or fourth most likely. But the fact that like him blinding himself would give him the perfect opportunity to take her down.
Yeah, but
Um,
what he said when he talked about it was, "I blinded myself because I've seen tragedies." Right? I don't know if
right.
blinding yourself
And like
to not even defeat Boa would be, a thing.
we kind of think that Boa and Mihawk are ultimately good people, and we kind of think that Weevil is a bad person.
Well,
So
Weevil's being manipulated, so I don't know if Weevil's.
sure, but
Yeah.
he's on the destructive side, I guess, is
Sure.
what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
And Mihawk has been at times too. It would be sweet to see Fujitora and Mihawk fight. Like that would
Yeah.
be one of the best sword fights in the series.
We could talk about Kuma, but there's maybe Kuma
The
being mind
tyrant.
controlled by the government, does
was the
something
tyrant.
bad.
He was a tyrant, some kind of kingdom. Who knows what happened with that?
But it's like pretty well known that Kuma is connected to the revolutionaries, right?
Sure.
Or is that so? Don't you think that Fujitora might have it out for the revolutionaries if that was the case?
I don't know if that's necessarily well-known knowledge. Like, he was connected with the revolutionaries, but it's like our, like, I don't know if the general navy knows that he wants to, like, he's a sleeper agent for the revolutionaries. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to decipher if the world government knows
If he was part of the.
if he's still part of the revolutionary army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still don't know why he handed himself in, but yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
there's all the possibilities. I mean, there it is.
Thank you, Crusoe. We appreciate you turning up.
Yeah, thanks for having me on again. Yeah, I thought that we were starting 2 hours later than we
That's
actually
okay.
were, but it's okay. Calling in from work,
That's all right, man. All right.
Cheers, man.
Crusoe.
Cheers. Thank you.
There you go.
A lot of Fuji talk today, Christian.
I don't know what it is. Fujitora is big.
Do you think Fuji's turning up in Wano? He's a Wano man, clearly.
He's a very Japanese man, that's for sure. All right. Is he turning up? I mean, he's on his way somewhere, right?
Sure.
So it's possible that he's on the sea. He could turn up, help Drake out, help Kobe out after they get defeated by Boa.
Yeah.
So there you go. Next person is Flyboo, but he's got a meme question for us.
All right, what's the main question?
The main question is revolution of our time.
I don't see Flabu.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be
trailer.
right. All right.
Yeah.
So the last topic, if Guts does not show up, is from Hebby. Is she around?
Hey, B, you ready? Are you good? Do you want to be dragged up or not?
Oh, here we go.
Hey, B, hey, mate, you're on the show. Welcome to the show. What's your question?
It was about Overuchi and Odin being brothers.
Okay, we've talked about this before. The design similarities with the father, maybe the thematic similarities. So what do you want to talk about?
Well, basically, we all know how Oda's inspired by Japan, right?
Sure.
With Wano. So it could also be noted that in Japan, the former Emperor Akihito, his father was the child of a concubine.
Right.
Right.
So whether that could also be the case of Orochi would be interesting. Right?
Yeah, he's a bastard child.
Because he is the child of a concubine. Now, also, if Orochi's castle in the Flower Capital was also Sakazuki's castle,
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's right.
it would have. And I'm basing it off like the model of Edo Castle.
Okay.
Kyoto. It would have also had a separate area for all the women,
All right.
where the first wife would have lived and then the concubines. So the chances of Odin even knowing he had siblings would be extremely low because they would have no interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, the bastard child situation, I think it's likely because we need motivation for Orochi to start trying to take over, right?
Yeah.
And it's a
Well,
pretty it's a pretty
also,
standard motivation for the
concubines
yeah
had a very low status, as did their children. So I
Yeah.
think that could fuel the hatred.
yeah. So we need something to fuel the hatred towards Odin, right?
And the
Unless you're
fact that,
done.
you're basically treated as a spare.
Yeah.
You're not the heir unless your brother dies. So Odin could be shipped off to a relative to be trained in case Odin dies. Odin gets
Sure, but
exiled,
we
but
saw it.
it's
Yeah.
temporarily until he gets growth.
So we see
Could be daddy's
Orochi
favorite.
sort of serving Yasu in a kind of dodgy way. So
Yeah.
I don't know if he's been trained. We don't really know his backstory. I don't know how much of Orochi's backstory we're actually gonna get right now. Maybe that's revealed towards the end of the arc where someone's fighting him and he's like, "Oh, I'm the actual brother of Odin. The throne is rightfully mine. I'm the true heir." Shit like that. I can see that being his motivation. I think it's a good motivation. You know, pretty tropey
Yeah,
motivation, but it works.
It all makes sense.
Yeah. So we can also, the design similarities we talked about with Sukiyaki is he's got the weird mustache, the top knot, palm tree thing.
Yeah.
It's all there. So
They all look the same.
yeah,
But I also think that Lady Toki could also be a commoner, based on if we're going on the royal family being similar to
Toki is
Japanese.
definitely 100% from the past. All right, she teleports.
Yes, but is she a common, a normal everyday citizen, or is she
Probably.
from the nobility? Because
She's got to be from the
wife
ancient history.
was a
There's no
commoner. If you're basing it on inspirations from Japan.
Yeah, but the thing with Toki is I really do think she's from
The
the
real
ancient
thing
history.
is she's the ultimate outsider from Wano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So therefore,
So
it's a
would she be
massive
a
disrespect.
commoner?
I feel like
Because that was a huge disrespect to marry a commoner
I feel like
in the royal family.
I feel like it would be even more disrespectful to marry an outsider. Wouldn't you say that?
Regardless of royal blood or not.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
It's doubly,
Yeah,
up the
she's
ass
probably
family
she's probably not royal. I don't know. She doesn't need to be royal in any way.
I think
she got her status after.
Yeah, she married Odin.
Because we see. Here's the thing, right? We see when everyone talks about Toki, they always talk about her like she's a mystery, like the mysterious woman who turned up from the past. She has prophecies. I feel like Onan met her out on the seas.
Yeah, I was about to say they probably met on the sea somewhere.
Yeah.
Not in Wano.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
That's
right,
what I
Heavy, thank you for your question.
That is okay.
All right. If anyone else wants to come in, join the Discord. We got anyone else who wants to talk? We're running up on the hour mark, which is when we're gonna end this segment. Maybe one more person we can squeeze in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Orochi being the bastard child's pretty standard, I think. Nothing really shocking if that's the case.
Sure. I don't really. Yeah. I think it's a good motivation for Orochi, right? It's a good motivation. It's a motivation you can understand. You can sort of
Nice and quick. No need to explain.
Yeah. All the convoluted shit.
Yeah.
There you go. So I guess we're moving on. I guess.
Shanks.
How strong is Shanks? Live. All right. I don't want to see any disrespect in the chat. All right, this is a live sermon.
Everyone get on their hands and knees.
All right, I don't want to hear about God Hawk. I don't want to hear about anything. All right, I only want to hear about the God King Shanks. All right. How strong is Shanks? Shanks is the strongest. Shanks is the God King. There are people out there who don't think this. They're blasphemous. And they must be re-educated. Alright? Because some people out there think Kaido's the strongest. Some people out there think Dragon's the strongest. Some people who think sweatiest man on the planet, Magma-kun, Sakazuki, the sweatiest man, is the strongest.
Ridiculous.
Some people think world's greatest swordsman, is the strongest.
Every week, people make him seem. It seems he gets stronger every week, Christian. Week on week.
And some people even think Aimu's the strongest. Shout out to Sawyers for making a video about how that's bullshit, alright?
We appreciate that.
We appreciate that. He's doing the right thing, alright? But Shanks is stronger, Shanks is the God King. And every week, we come with 100% genuine, factual information. And this week's information is Shanks is so strong that he can escape the event horizon. The point at which not even light can escape a black hole. Shanks, unaffected. Because he is the strongest and he is the God King. And there it is. And that's what you need to know. Let's let the chat drink that in.
Dritz has returned.
Dritz has returned, okay. Topic of the show.
What is this?
Ecosystem writing. Alright. So, we talked about some, top level stuff and some deep stuff last week. Deep, alright?
Top level. Not top level.
Not top level, the opposite of top level. Deep.
Yeah.
Alright.
Maybe Dritz should, look at that to understand what's going on.
This week we're talking about ecosystem writing, and it's basically how One Piece is written.
Yeah.
Alright? So, I've got a few dot points here. It's basically creating a world that runs itself, and the writer just nudges things in the right direction. Now, what does that even mean? Right? Characters, personalities, weaknesses, and flaws, informed decisions. Right? That's what it should be. So you create characters, you create their backstory, their flaws, their power, whatever. All the stats of a character.
Mm.
You put them in situations. They interact with each other. It should be all consistent because it's established, it's there, it's written. So all you do is put two characters together. It should be obvious how they would react to each other. Because they're already set up, they're already there, alright? Yeah. You make a deep world with systems, lore, past events, history. So the world also runs in the background with past events mattering in the future, and they inform decisions and how the world will react to the characters, how the characters react to the world. Everything mingles, coexists in the ecosystem, alright? Alright?
Yeah.
You're always planting seeds. Every opportunity you get, you plant a seed, alright? What does that mean? You drop an idea in the soil, alright? A bit of lore hinting at a bit of past events, bit of lore, bit of character information. Always planting seeds to be picked up and cultivated later. So you seem like a genius. Alright? You drop something here, 200 chapters later, you pick it back up. And you seem like a genius because you've, quote unquote, foreshadowed massive events. Now, you might not have all those events, figured out 100%, but you have the basic idea. And that means you can always go back to those seeds and start picking them up when you need. Like, I have to spice up this chapter 1 week. Let's go back 200 chapters, pick up this seed, drop it in here. Bang, you got hype. Alright? It's a way to always make something exciting. By planting seeds.
Something like the Rocky Port incident, Christian. We don't know what that is.
Yeah, that was an example of a misstep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If we haven't heard about the Rocky Port incident in chapter 50, and now we get it now, instant hype. It's like the Jinbei thing, right? Oda had no idea what Jinbei was.
Or the wallet system.
He just said the name Jinbei, and in part down when you finally meet Jinbei, seems like this man's existing in the world for 500 chapters, because he was mentioned in chapter 50, right?
Yeah.
So you're always just planting little seeds here and there, dropping names, dropping past events. And then you pick them up and you explain them in full, right? They blossom into a beautiful hype piece.
I'll keep track of all these systems and seeds and make sure they don't trample on top of each other.
You just got to be involved. You got to write them down. You got to have a spreadsheet. You got to have all kinds of organization. I'm not here to tell you how to organize it, all right? I'm telling you, this is how One Piece is basically written, all right? It makes the world feel organic because things have already been mentioned, all right? Even if you don't know what they fully are, right? You can just mention a name here and pick it up here. It's easy. It's pretty easy.
What about the God Valley, Christian?
The God Valley incident. Now, this is where we get into some pitfalls, alright? Sometimes it takes too long to get to plot points. Because characters have to interact with each other and the world. The world needs to be dealt with. Characters need to be dealt with. Everything has to sort of react to each other, and it's like a domino cascade effect of time, where it's like, this event happens, therefore this character needs to say something, and then that character needs to say something to the other character, then they have to interact, and then you've wasted a chapter just talking to people, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta pick who reacts, what happens, alright? That's when the author comes in to decide what happens when, all those kinds of things. Because otherwise the world should run itself, and you're just planting seeds and picking them up, right?
Sure.
So the author decides what to show, when, and trying to make sure everything has a good pace, has a good flow. Because you don't want, like, let's just say you have an event in One Piece, right? And then you have to have 9 Straw Hats react to it, and then that's the chapter. Yeah. Like, you can't, like, that kind of pitfall writing is a pitfall of this style of writing, right? The element of surprise can be lost if everything is foreshadowed and explained already, right? You don't want to go too deep. You need surprises like God Valley to expand the lore. You need things that aren't in the story so you can have surprise.
Oda handled God Valley perfectly with the hint and suggestion of the rocks.
Yes.
How that unfolds.
Multiple chapters ago. Right? Introducing new things for the element of surprise. Because you don't always want everything foreshadowed, because then everyone already knows what's going to happen, right? You don't want that. You want surprise.
The God Valley incident was planted when it was talked about how Garp was the hero of the Navy for hitting rocks. And then we got the full information, which was far more than the information we were given before, which is high.
Exactly. So so Oda planted the seed, right? He might not have known the full details, but he gave himself so much time to think about it, work on it, that he pulled it out and it all fits in.
It wasn't specific at that time.
Exactly. He goes very vague, very very sort of shady. So then he can develop it and pick it up at a point and explain it all, and it all fits in the story.
In that incident.
Sorry?
No mention of Roger the first time.
No.
We talked about rocks.
No. You have to make sure it all fits, it's all relevant, and it all works. Alright. So, this style of writing only works in the long play. You can't do it in the short term because it doesn't work. Alright?
Christian, do you want Dark Mage Honey to ask a question? He's asking if he can come in. What are your thoughts?
We're in the topic of the show right now.
Question corner?
Yeah, we'll save it for the question corner, all right? We'll stick around for a little bit.
Stick around for a little bit longer.
So this only works in the long play. You can't do
Yeah.
this, you can't do this for a 10-chapter series, right? Doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense. That's when you do the opposite, which is you write everything out and nothing changes, all right?
Yeah.
The sort of locked in stone events, which has its positives as well, where you can do crazy mastermind plays, betrayals, strategies, all that kind of stuff with that kind of style of writing.
Sure.
So, how would you tackle a long running series? Would you use the ecosystem style, right?
Depends on the goal of what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
It's all well and good doing a long series with ecosystem, but like if you're doing a fucking tournament,
Yeah, just about
it's not
fights.
really gonna help you out.
Yeah, like you don't necessarily need a massive world when you're just doing tournaments.
Yeah, you look at something like JoJo, right? It doesn't really have the ecosystem going on.
Sure.
Because it's about a singular task and how that task unfolds.
And it's kind of in our world, so like
Yeah.
you don't need to explain what this country
Like,
is.
And you never really get those minute details answers on, like, say, we'll take part 5 with the boss, right?
Yeah,
You have all these, like, groups just to be, like, villains of the week,
sure.
and you never really understand how everything works. It kind of just unfolds as a crew reacts to the situations and
Sure.
what they're in.
We're kept in the dark.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
things are, like, hinted at for the next guy to turn up, but there's
Yeah.
never really, like, oh...
Big plays over
Would you
seasons.
say the arrow system is like a massive seed planting situation, or was that in part 4 and already explained and not really like?
It's a band-aid. I wouldn't say it's a seed planting event because it's a band-aid for the stands,
Right.
right? Because part 4 it was introduced that this is what actually gives people stand powers, but there's also other ways. So it's like a band-aid on it.
Sure.
Like, oh, I just want to put this in so we can have people get stand powers without having to awaken them or whatever. So I want to say that. So you've also got the monster of the week, sort of episodic style.
Yeah.
Which is
Which
has
pros and cons.
pros
as
and
well.
cons as well. So that's basically
It depends if you want to do. Depends what your story's about. Is it a character story?
Is it a story about the world?
Is it a world story?
Sure.
I mean, you always have to have all elements, but like some elements more focused than others.
Sure.
So yeah.
So yeah, obviously One Piece uses the ecosystem style of writing. That's obvious, right? That's what Oda does. That's Oda's bread and butter.
Yeah.
He's dropping seeds. He picks them up 300 chapters later.
Talk to the chat for a second. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, I don't have the chat up. This is great.
So just talk about whatever.
How's it going, chat? We notice some people in there. Let me just pull it up for a second. Eric's gone to the toilet. Very unprofessional. Some might say that this is unhost like and unprofessional. So is Eric the actual host? I'm not going to the toilet. That's all I'm saying. I'm sticking here with the people. So, what's going on there? Is Eric the true host?
Have all elements, but like some elements more.
All right. Is Eric the true host, or is he not the true host? I don't know. All right. So, what's the chat talking about? Talking about Kurma. Talking about different things in the chat. Apparently, we've got some extra questions in the chat. People arguing, of course. Standard. Alright, so we're waiting for Eric to get back. Now, is he doing number 1 or number 2? Because I think he's doing number 2. I imagine he's got his headset on, so he can't hear me. Let's hope he hurries up so we can get the show back on the road. Yeah. What are we talking? What's even the argument in the chat? Is it talking about Luffy and Ace? Who's smarter? Who's more intelligent? I don't know. What's going on there? Yeah. I guess I am taking over the Red Force podcast. There's only one person on screen right now, and that's me. So I guess I'm the host right now. In that sense. When you sign petition, you go to the Discord. It is pinned. You can sign it. All right. All right. I think he's coming back. I think I hear the faucet running. Drit's the true host.
No,
Drit's,
Christian.
Drit's,
All right.
Drit's is not the true host. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
We can definitely agree on that. Drit's ain't the true host.
This is on the dark path of death and despair.
Sure.
Apologies to the people, Christian. There was no chance of me holding any longer.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe you go beforehand.
I went beforehand.
You be professional.
Yeah.
All right. You be professional, and you don't go to the toilet during the show.
Probably should have just had the mic on, Christian, in the toilet.
I mean, do people want to hear that kind of
action?
Who knows?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't think so. Anyway, that's the topic of the show. Some interesting insights into maybe write your own story.
I feel like the ecosystem that you're talking about, right, is fraught with danger.
It is very dangerous.
If you're not doing it right, you're gonna fuck it up, huh?
100%. You gotta do it right. You gotta be keeping track, picking up things at the right moment, not blowing your stack in the first 10 chapters. All right? It's about the long game.
Sure.
You gotta have the long game, all right? So there you go.
I guess also the problem is if you hint too much, then people just want to get to that thing.
Sure.
And the now doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Which is
That's also a problem, right?
Yeah.
Kind of what happened with Hawkeye Island and Wano, right? Yeah.
All right. Power scale.
Power scale time. Now, the power scale. Do people want to throw in the chat some suggestions for the power scale? Because we're running out of characters. All right, what did we do last week?
Who remembers,
Yeah. Power scale.
What do you want to say, Christian? You got anyone in the chat talking about anything?
Well, we're gonna wait for him to catch up, but here we go. The power scale.
Yeah.
Have we done everything from Impel Down?
We're talking about Sadie. We're talking about Pipe Man, Imp Man.
Yeah, we've definitely done. We've done all the animals, right?
The Minotaurs.
Sure.
We've done McGrillen.
We've definitely done McGrillen, right?
Is McGrillen ever coming back in the story?
McGrillen.
Or is Mingo just gonna fuck him up?
Mingo's definitely fucking. They released the chains on him. What are they doing? They give him a bit of more wiggle room. That's a mistake.
Every time we see him, he gets less chains.
That's an issue, right? It's definitely an issue.
Yeah.
All right.
All you need,
maybe have we done
what?
Doflamingo Moist Guard?
You want to do the Celestial Dragon?
Celestial Dragon. The good Celestial Dragon.
Sure, we can talk about it.
Now, he does have the strength to wield that mace, but so does Avita.
Yes.
That Kaido-esque mace, right?
We have Alvida even. Surely
We've got Alvida. Surely it's fucking trash. Right?
I don't see no Alvida.
We don't have Alvida.
Duval, Absalon. No Alvida.
How do we not have Alvida?
There's Alvida.
No,
Lolo, Christian, Lolo.
Lolo, obviously. Now, the question is, trash or Lolo for Moist Guard?
Charles is in trash.
That's true. But, did you see that hit on him? Send him flying. One shot, destruction. Right?
Let's look at Lolo. VV, Mr. Four, Margaret.
They have powers. They got devil fruits, and that's an issue for him. All right. Now, can this man defeats Bandit?
Can this man defeat a Kung Fu Dugan?
Can this man defeat Kung Fu Dugan? I say unlikely.
What do you think about Pal being Lolo?
Pal is a big meme, alright?
Don
Yeah.
Creed doesn't beat God Concrete.
Nah. No. Alright? We'll give... It's gonna be trash. The man sticks up for what he believes in.
Yeah.
But he's trash, alright? Obviously.
Does he beat Porchemi?
I think he beats Porchemi.
Okay.
And,
Full Body.
Blue Jam. Now, Full Body, I think defeats... Full Body gets it done.
Does Moist Guard defeat Yozuko and Johnny?
Yeah. If here's the thing, if Full Body one-shot him with one punch,
Yeah.
I think Charles is getting it done against Yozuko and Johnny. Alright?
Sure. Now, people have thrown up Batman, Gazelle Man. I think we already had Batman. I remember doing it. Yeah, Batman, low.
There's nothing to say with Gazelle Man.
It's just, yeah. We've done Hold'em.
Yeah, we've done Hold'em.
I don't see no Hold'em.
How have we not done Hold'em? We've definitely done Hold'em.
Yeah. What's the chat reckon? Zephyr.
We've done Z. We've 100% done Z. It's on the list.
Do we do Helmeppo?
Helmeppo. Let's get to the Kobe territory, and that's a dangerous territory.
Did we put Kobe on this list?
Yeah, we put Kobe on the list.
Kobe mid. Helmeppo. Thoughts? Right hand man to Kobe,
Sure. I mean, sure, I guess.
which is not really a feat.
Sure, I guess right hand man to Kobe, whatever the fuck that means.
Surely, Helmeppo doesn't beat a pacifista. Trained by Garb.
Trained by Garp. That is true.
That's always a feat.
The man defeated Goon Pirates in the New World. In the Reverie little segment he got. He does know about observation haki and comments that Kobe's is crazy. So does this man indeed have haki?
Trained by Garb.
Trained by Garp should.
Does he have Rokishi?
He also should.
Christian, when are we going to see the Future Slap Paper Arts combination?
When Rob Lucci returns.
Okay.
Alright.
Did Rob Lucci never use paper art, did he?
Nah, he used it once or twice.
Okay.
Yeah. In the yeah, he's
We
used
have,
it
to
once or
have,
twice.
we have to have all 60s Rokugan, Christian.
Exactly. So Helmeppo, it's difficult. Here's why it's difficult. As we scroll down, right?
We can't talk about page one. We may already have him on here. No. We can't talk about page one because we don't know what happened with Sanji. Still.
Sure. We still don't know what happened. Did he
What
get
are we
one shot or
supposed to
not?
do? What are we supposed to do?
Helmeppo,
Yeah.
low mid.
Low
Does he even
mid.
beat Lao G? Does he? Surely Usopp takes him out.
Pacifista, Christian? I don't know about that Pacifista.
Mac fight.
Ryuma? Does he beat Ryuma?
Nah, he doesn't beat Ryuma. Here's the thing. Does Helmeppo have the swordsman skill to beat Ryuma?
Now. Talk about Jabra, Christian? What do you reckon about Jabra? That's Helmeppo.
I like Tashigi. Does Tashigi beat Helmeppo? Tashigi has a higher rank than Helmeppo.
I think Helmeppo's got it covered, though.
You think Helmeppo has more feats than Tashigi?
Christian, we talked about this with Silvers before.
The feats are owls.
Tashigi has so many negative feats that no feats at all is better. Do you agree?
Here's the thing. Tashigi, Haki confirmed.
Doesn't use
Whatever you want to say there. Alright,
Yeah.
whatever you want to say. Has some sort of combat prowess, alright? Helmeppo, massive question mark. Alright? Do you honestly think...
And stupid knives clashes with Zoro at some point.
Do you honestly think Tashigi is
I'll ask you this question.
weaker than Kobe?
I'll ask you this
Because
question.
she's the right hand man to Smoker.
I'll ask you this question. Who's Tashigi trained by?
We don't know.
Yeah,
Mystery.
who's Kobe and Almepo trained by?
Garp the Fistu.
Fist of the God Valley.
Sure. Ah.
Kobe's beaten Tashigi's ass. What are you talking about?
Sure, Kobe's beating Tashigi's ass. Is Helmeppo? Helmeppo is the golden gifted child that Kobe is. Right? So
It would be a fight though. You were saying low mid Christian for Helmeppo. It's too high.
it's too high. It's gonna have to be high low.
Yeah.
Hina low. We got Hina on this on high low.
I mean, what's Hannah doing?
She's got a high rank.
I mean,
Yeah, that's also okay.
She's been Helmeppo's been there for 2 years.
All right, Helmeppo, apparently on the same level as Tashigi. Silver's gonna get mad. All right, he's gonna start storming in here. He's gonna want a refund or some shit.
Sheep's Head Christian is on high low.
I know, but we've seen feats. As in,
They're not good, but
they are good, but there you go.
Helmeppo.
Helmeppo.
There it is.
Eric's saying Helmeppo could beat Tashigi.
Yeah.
And I think Silver's gonna lose his fucking mind.
That's what I'm saying.
That's obvious.
Didn't we move Tashigi up a rank at some point?
Yeah, we did. That's actually hilarious. Because I realized she had 6 powers.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There you go. There's the power scale this week. Moving on to questions. Not a lot of questions here, but maybe we'll pull in a few more people. Apparently, we've got some people who want to come in.
Yes.
All right. Do you want to set that up?
Dark Mage, you ready? You coming in? You ready? Mage.
What's going on? I can hear something going on.
We'll get him in when he turns up in the questions at some point, Christian. But
All
the
right. First question, return to slab. I love Eric's absolute indifference to the Hold'em theory.
Yes. Do you want to remind people what the whole theory was?
That he is the priest from the last chapter. I'm like, okay.
Just disinterested completely.
Yeah. Nice to see him back in the studio so Christian can jab him with his elaborate hand gestures. Yes.
We do miss the elaborate hand
We
gestures.
we don't have it anymore. It's a sad time. The topic of the show was one of my favorites.
What about
Insightful.
VR, Christian?
What?
What about if we get VR?
The VR. I think that's going to help.
Studio in VR.
That's some new technology right there. The virtual space.
Shout out to the Patreon.
All right, we'll set up some sort of Matrix-like virtual space
Yeah.
where we're 3D modeled and we're in the same room, but
Yeah.
we're rigged with VR equipment.
Yeah.
All right, maybe that's the next step for the technology.
3D cameras
Sure,
in every room.
sure. All right, and then we can comp you in live.
Yeah.
That's the new technology.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's possible if Eric gets a green screen. I'm sure it's not that hard.
Mm.
All right, we'll talk about new technology.
This looks so dumb.
It's gonna look great.
Uh,
All right. Yeah, he loves the topic of the show. One of his favorites, insightful. The artistic process in any field is interesting. Yes. All right. Questions from Eric. Eric, if you could apprentice under a master, which one would you choose? Would it be? See, I feel like Araki has the knowledge. Araki has the philosophy.
I feel like
Well, I don't know if Oda has the philosophy.
I don't think Oda has the time.
Yeah.
Araki sees more of a man of leisure, Christian, absorbing the situation and then using
Drawing.
it in his drawing and writing.
Sure.
I think Araki would have more time for me.
Sure. He also, I think he would also just love talking about it.
Yeah.
Talking about the Royal Road and the
You know,
Golden Ratio.
Natoshi Shida.
But I thought you don't like Natoshi now.
There's pros and cons to Natoshi, Christian. There's a bunch of other dudes
Okay.
you want to learn from.
All right. Would you call Natoshi a master though? Is he a master? Like
It is not.
Araki is a master. He's not a he's not a well-known director.
Not a master.
Okay.
I think Araki would have the time for me. Oda would definitely not have the time for me.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. There it is.
Oda would be like, get me a ciggy.
Oda's just like, yeah, I like to draw this. And you're like, okay. From Jordan Lee. Question Corner. Excellent topic of the show. I can resonate with your thoughts about mastery.
Yes.
Christian, what is your manga about? Could you give us a brief overview of the plot without any spoilers? Now. 1. Not a manga. Right?
Webtoon.
Webtoon. Comic. Alright, Western comic.
Yeah.
With obvious manga influences. I think that's obvious. Alright. You can see it in the corner here. You can see it in the corner. Where here. General plot overview. 3 friends on an epic quest to rid the world of evil. You know, the classic. The classic, alright? You got the classic 2 males and the female combo. The classic. Alright? You got martial arts. You got fights. You got lore. You got mythos. Alright? Right now, in the middle of an arc, right now doing the flashback of the main character.
Pirate flavor.
Kind of, sort of, maybe. We're in the kind of, we're exploring the world. You know what oppression means, that kind of shit.
Now,
yeah.
let me ask you a specific question.
Sure.
Do you regret the name
What?
of the series?
No.
Because you came up with it when you were
No,
16.
why? It's relevant. It's still relevant.
I mean, like it's
got a bit of alliteration.
a little bit of, you know,
Bit of what? A bit too edge.
16-year-old coming in there.
Well, it is what it is.
Sure. No
Um,
regrets on the show here, though, Christian. Now, people in the comment section talking about how Part 8 is boring and slow, and the problem's the pacing. What do you think about that?
of JoJo.
Yeah. Do you agree, or do you disagree?
Here's the thing. It's all for the big reveal.
Yeah.
We saw it in the middle of the arc when all the pieces fell into place. Mastermind plays from Araki. Right? Now, can he finish the series with a mastermind play? Everything ties into everything else. We get Part 7 lore. We get it all. Let's hope it does. Is it boring? Is the pace slow? Yes. Do you remember me telling you about the chapter where they talked about fruit and the design of the fruit in the glass and how
420. How many 45 pages?
it was like at least 20 pages of him talking about fruit.
Yeah.
And how the mixture of the glass
Araki
it involves the
such
delicious taste and how
Araki-
every layer is perfectly laid out to elicit certain emotions.
complete romantic about everything.
Sure. He loves exporting and importing expensive exotic fruit.
Yeah.
All right, and you gotta find out about the business model of that business in Part 8, and then you're gonna enjoy it or you're not gonna enjoy it. Now there was an entire arc about beetle fights, you know, strategies with beetle fights. Too much about beetles. All right, he loves animals.
Now, Christian, Dark Mage is ready to go, so we'll bring him in.
Dark Mage, bringing in Dark Mage.
You coming in? You ready? Dark Mage on the show. Welcome to the show.
Please call me honey. So
Honey.
honey there.
What's your question?
So I'm gonna ask Flarby's question. He's gonna be asking for it. What is your
Sure.
opinion on the revolution of our time?
So you're talking about Hong Kong, obviously.
Yeah, of course, of course.
It's great to see. All right, it's great to see. Are people standing up for rights? It's always great to see. You know how we've mentioned we don't like communism here.
Dictatorships.
We don't like
yeah.
dictatorships.
We
We
don't
don't
like
like tragedies. All right. Now, might be a controversial statement. All
Yeah.
right. Some people saying China is, the Nazi Germany of our time. Now that might be a crazy controversial statement, but they do have massive concentration camps of Muslims up in the north that no one talks about.
that are being rehabilitated back into society, in quotes.
Sure, yeah, quote unquote rehabilitated. So China's doing messed up things. Hong Kong fighting for their rights. Now, a lot of talk in the West about fighting for rights, but no one's doing anything about it. So we can all take a note out of Hong Kong, all right? You want something, you go protest.
Protesting on the
for it, right?
street about the climate is not important at all.
Sure.
Now,
A dictatorship coming for your rights, very important, all right? Very important.
now, let me say this about the whole issue with China at the moment, Christian.
Sure.
So many hands in China, so many businesses,
Sure.
so many groups that don't want this good time to collapse.
But it will collapse.
Called it like 3 years ago when everyone was talking about it. Oh, China's this powerful. But Christian, the people always rise. They get comfortable, they get fed, they get fat, they start looking for rights.
Sure.
That's just how it is.
But
So
but Hong Kong is a different situation.
Hong Kong's a different situation.
You know, they know what freedom is. They've tasted it. They've grown up with it. They don't want it taken away. All right. So
and, it has a very big threat about to get very violent.
sure. When will China roll in the tanks? At some point, they will. When the mainland starts protesting, they'll roll in the tanks.
Yeah,
But they can control the message with Hong Kong, I guess.
it's very
So-
distasteful to the entire world
Yeah.
economy as well. So imagine very nefarious things are going on behind the scenes for that not to happen.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
There you go. There's the revolution of our time. I don't know if Dark Mage has anything to say about that.
I mean, I'd rather not give out my hot takes. I just want to hear you guys like
All
talk
right.
about the revolution of our time. It's a very important matter for a One Piece channel to discuss. So I mean,
Yeah, it's a totalitarian government coming for people's rights. It's a One Piece
well,
about
actually,
freedom,
another
baby.
question for you guys regarding this.
Yeah.
So, for each character in the Straw Hats, which side of the revolution the revolution of our time would they support?
Oh, that was
think
for
they'd
Hong
be-
Kong.
China or Hong Kong? No, I'm not gonna lie. I think Zoro would really be supporting China right here.
Why? Why would Zoro do that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know why Zoro.
That's
it's all about free will and determination. We
They would
know that.
all support Hong Kong because they're on the right side of history, and we all know that. All right, we all know that. That's
Yeah.
obvious.
Mage, honey. As
Whatever
we
you
call
want to be called, there you go. There's your question.
Thank you for having me on.
it. Cheers.
No worries.
Yeah, I think they expected a meme response.
Oh, you got a real response.
They got a real response.
Alright.
I don't like seeing the argument online that China is its own country and should have the freedom
No.
to do whatever they want.
Absolutely not.
Their own culture. Ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous argument. I hinted at it before about.
And Christian, we're in Australia, so it actually affects us.
Yeah, it's going to affect us massively in about 5 years. So get ready for warfare on the shores of Darwin.
We see in the Pacific Islands, Christian, they're building
two Chinese warships pulled up in Sydney. Don't
So-
forget about that. So
The Americans are deep entrenched.
they're coming. They're coming.
Massive money coming in.
Will Mad Max actually happen in Australia when China drops the nukes? Maybe.
Do they don't have nuclear weapons, do they?
No, I think they probably do, right?
Yeah.
So watch Australia be the battlefield because it's just desert.
Yeah.
All right. And very important region. All right, there you go. There's the geopolitics segment of the show. There it is. From what Sam said, Eric's story made me interested in getting the book. Where can he find this book?
I already gave him a.
Sure.
You can get it on Amazon, Christian. You get it easily on Amazon. Just buy it on Amazon.
Just Amazon. What's the book called? Craft.
Writing in manga, writing in theory and practice or whatever.
Sure, yeah. Alright. So there you can find it. Alright. From Lothar. If you guys could make your own One Piece pirate crew, who would make it up? Anyone in the OP verse. And you need at least 10 members. Now, obviously, you just go pick up some hype beasts and you put them in the crew.
Now, Christian, this crew actually has to be cohesive and work.
Alright, here's the crew. Shanks, obviously.
Yeah.
Ben Beckman,
Yeah.
the strategist, obviously. And then where we could go from there.
Rayleigh. Garp.
Sure.
I feel like Garp would merge well with
Shanks and the pirate crew.
such as Rayleigh and
Sure.
shit. Might be a little bit of Zoro Sanji situation going on
Now,
there.
we can't have Big Mom Okada because they're too
They're too
disruptive.
correct.
They're too
Yeah.
disruptive, right?
Do you have Luffy on that crew?
Yeah, chuck the monkey D in, alright?
Yeah, now he wants to be captain, Christian. I guess all these figures also want to be captain as well. Just have Rayleigh and Garp.
Sure.
I
Ben
love it.
Beckman, we got Ben Beckman there.
Shanks would be happy to just chill around. Doesn't seem like them, but doesn't seem like the ambitious man.
He is an emperor though.
Yeah.
So I think he's got the ambition there. So we got about 4. We got 5 characters,
Yeah.
and then fan favorites like Rob Luch.
That's dangerous. But he does serve power, Christian.
Does serve power. All you have to do is convince him that Shanks is the good king.
Yeah, that's a fact. So,
Alright. And then you get Mihawk in there. Obvious right hand man to Shanks. We all know that. Theory to be true.
Listen, if that theory actually happens, good times.
Good times for everyone involved.
Yeah.
So we got about 7 characters. I guess chuck Zolo in there, Can't have a story without Zolo.
You need that samurai hype at least.
And then you got Chuck Nami in there for the ultimate navigator. Alright. Number 1 navigator.
You're in this shit. Who's cooking? We need Sanji to cook, Christian. We need that feast.
Let's get
I ain't having a shit ass cook. You
Let's
have
get Sanji for the feast. Okay, let's get Sanji for the feast.
better cook, Christian, Zeph or Sanji?
We've already established that Shanks is the better cook. Alright, and how strong is Shanks?
That's right.
So Shanks can also cook the God King meals.
Hassle Shanks with doing the chefly duties, Christian.
Sure. I guess we need someone to sacrifice themselves at any point. So I guess we'll have Jinbei in there.
Yeah. We need that flag bearing. I'm ready to do it
Yeah,
kind of guy.
we need that guy.
Alright.
We need a shipwright, so we'll chuck in
Frankie's the best. Iceberg? Who's better?
Vegapunk.
Vegapunk is shit right.
Vegapunk for shipwright. And there you go. We have everything. We have everything we need. All right.
That's a powerful crew, Christian.
That's a powerful crew, right? All right. From Dart, what is your favorite Luffy quote?
I'm gonna be the Pyro King.
I
I'm gonna kill
mean-
pirates.
I mean,
Luffy doesn't quite much,
what do you think?
Say what's in your heart. What does he say to Robin? Say I want to live.
Yeah. See, Luffy quotes are hard to remember.
Yeah.
You just remember the event, not necessarily the quote. Maybe, I don't know. I'm the captain now down the Whole Cake Island.
Yeah, people ask in the chat about free speech in Australia. Hebby says there's no free speech. Hebby, that is incorrect. We do have free speech under common law, which is under the Commonwealth.
Heavy,
So they-
you gotta get
You gotta-
better.
You gotta read a book at some point.
All right, don't just swallow the American propaganda by saying they're the only ones with free speech. All right.
Now, Chris D in the chat says, "What about Part 9 JoJo in Australia? Would you enjoy that?"
Yeah, Part 9. No, okay. We've already
We
had the ultimate Part 9 theory. All right.
Versus
No, you can't spoil it. All right, you can't spoil it because we got spoilers all over the place.
Christian, we're talking about Giorno Giovanna fights the Pope and the Catholic Church.
Who happens to be Dio?
And the final fight will definitely be in the Sistine Chapel.
Of
Obviously.
course. And we're talking about achieving heaven. We're talking about crazy shit. All right.
I didn't say who the Pope was. No one said that.
I mean, it's obvious that it's Dio.
No one said, or is he the puppet master behind the Pope, Christian?
Oh, Poochie the Pope.
Yeah, Poochie's the Pope, and Dio's behind him as the puppet master.
Okay. We're going crazy Part 9 theories. Let's see it happen.
It'll never happen.
Araki returns to Italy.
Where he belongs.
The return. Alright. Alright, next question. Yeah. From Red Robin podcast. Is Ashura Doji stronger than Zoro? What do you think about that? I would say yes, without Emma. Because we all know Zoro at commander level.
He has Emma now, Christian, so you can't really say that. So yes, without
yes, he is. Alright, yes. From Silvers. Wants to know about the Ruby critique. I think this is a chance to plug maybe a new series, maybe a new video.
Well, this is what stemmed off this thing. Silvers wanted me to break down this video on the show, which was never going to happen.
No, we don't have time for that. We don't have time for Ruby. We don't have time for Ruby.
Check out the animation review, Christian. It's very boring, it's very long, and very in depth.
Okay.
But if you want to know what's wrong with Ruby's animation, I'll let you know.
Maybe we cut it down to maybe 20 minutes.
I can't. There's so many. Maybe if something's good, it'll be 5 minutes.
All right, that's true. All right,
Well,
so perhaps Eric cuts. We work out the format and we maybe make a show.
When I have to talk about blocking on a shot, that should be correct and isn't.
Maybe I get involved. We have some fun banter. We'll roast the show at the same time.
Yeah.
Maybe we do some. Maybe make it more entertaining.
I don't know how we're gonna do that online.
We can watch it at the same time.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something there. Let us know what you think about it. It got less views than the Design Wars, so I don't.
Well, I guess we just did it to give to Silvers to answer his question.
Sure.
So it's never really intended to be a show, but
there you go. All right. Next question from Luffy Zaluffy. How strong do you think Denjiro is?
About the same as Oshiro.
So yeah, we're talking about third commander level. Type dude, maybe that's strong, maybe not. His next question. Do you guys think current Luffy surpasses Zabo, Ben Beckman, or even Ben Beckman? He can't surpass Ben Beckman. There's no way. There's no way.
Maybe after the Kaido fight.
The amount of sauce just
There's
on Ben Beckman, all right? Not as much sauce as Odin. No one's had as much sauce as Odin. No one. In the entire series has had more sauce than Odin. All right? But is current Luffy stronger than Ben Beckman? Eric thinks Luffy is already Admiral level.
Not yet, Christian. I said he would rise to Admiral level.
So Eric already thinks he's surpassed First Commander.
Well, we're talking about Benny here, Christian. We're not talking about any normal First Commander.
I mean, there's 3 of them,
Yeah, there's another 3 of them. I'm going to say Benny's Admiral level. Okay. Whatever, people are going to get mad at that. B.D.A, shout out to B.D.A.
Shout out to Dritz.
Shout out to Dritz in the if you think Admirals are equal to Emperors,
you mind.
You're wrong, you're dumb, and you need to rethink about things.
Has he surpassed Zabo? How strong is Zabo? Should be Admiral level, right? He's got 2 years on Luffy. Been training with Dragon.
Surpassed Rayleigh yet?
Has Zabo surpassed Rayleigh?
No, has Luffy surpassed Rayleigh?
No. All right. Not Admiral level yet.
You talk about. Wait, when you said Rayleigh not Admiral level?
Yeah, Rayleigh not Admiral level.
Yeah, but I said, what was it, like Rayleigh's the top of high or something?
Yes, the peak, the pinnacle.
Yeah, the pinnacle of high. So after, assumably, right, after Wano, Luffy should enter high.
Yeah, assumably, yeah. And surpass Rayleigh.
We have Zabo in high.
Sure.
But right now, it's...
Maybe, I don't know, like he's getting used to his fruit. Man, like the opinion of Zaba is always fluctuating.
Yeah,
Like,
Garbo will increase in strength because he's young and shit.
and the final question from Fiji to struggle. The way One Piece is going, another time skill feels rather unlikely. Will Luffy conquer the seas and become Pirate King at the age of 20? Would that bother you?
No.
Man's in his prime, right? We're not having a 10-year time skip. A 2-year time skip doesn't really help anything either.
It's just superficial as well. Like, it's about what you've done in that timeline, right?
Yeah.
No man has done what Luffy's done in this short
Just
amount
cause
of time.
havoc in like a year.
Yeah.
On
He's
the
done so
Grand
much
Line.
in a year. Christian, if you were told, like, let's say if the story started on a different character,
Sure.
and Oda gave you the source
Of
sheet,
Luffy.
Luffy,
Would it
You-
match Odin's source?
it would surpass Odin's source.
Would it? I don't know that it would.
He infiltrated Impel Down and broke everyone out. He destroyed Enies Lobby.
He destroyed Crocodile. He defeated Moria.
defeated warlords. He destroyed Whole Cake Island. He beat Katakuri. The list goes on and on.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
Luffy's got sauce. Don't worry about that. We've just seen it over the span of 20
I
years.
wouldn't call it sauce. It's actual meat. Because
Yeah.
we've seen it. It's not
But there is
it's not-
sauce. Well,
Sure. I don't know. Yeah. So there you go. Oh yeah, like a 2-year time skip doesn't really help anything either. It's like he's 22. Is that really a difference? You know. So it'd have to be like a 10-year time skip, which is I don't think it's very unlikely.
Chris D in the chat asked the standard question of two animals versus Yonko.
I'll give it
I'm
to
not-
him. I'll give it to him. Because we're saying that's basically saying an emperor is twice as strong as an admiral, and I think that's fine.
Two Emperor. Listen, we talk about X
High
Factor.
diff. We're still talking extreme diff, high diff. We're not talking about
We talk
cakewalk.
about this though, like Kaido scales, Big Mom's armor, these X Factor things.
Sure.
We don't really know how they work or interact.
But we know the admirals have Rio though. We
Yeah.
know that.
They could probably hurt Kaido, but
Yeah.
they couldn't kill him.
Sure, but I'm going to give it to him. Two admirals would defeat an emperor. Extreme diff fight.
Well, if it's extreme diff, then
They'll win 55% of the time.
yeah.
Two
Alright.
animals versus an emperor. There you go. And that's the final question.
Except Shanks, obviously.
Of course.
This
That goes without saying.
Just knock the entire navy out at once with Conqueror's Haki.
That's right.
That's
Alright.
fact.
So there's the episode. Do you want? What do you want to do? Anyone in the chat?
Subscribe to the show, Christian. You can
Yeah.
like the stream.
Sure.
You can share it. Even.
Sure.
SoundCloud will be up shortly.
Yeah. I don't know how we're gonna do that.
You have to download the video and then
Yeah,
render
it has to. It has to go. Yeah. Okay. We'll have to
render
wait till it
the-
goes live. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a few hours then probably.
Yeah.
Next week we'll talk about Stampede. I imagine it'll be a long topic of the show.
It's gonna be a long episode. We got chapter. We got Stampede.
Good chapter. Hopefully we get some Morochi stuff next week.
Sure.
We appreciate the people turning up, Christian. A healthy 50 up and down
Sure.
during the stream, which is always good.
There you go.
Shout out to Anthony for a buck.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
Buck. In the back pocket. There you go. All right. Shanks is the God King. Good night.
Good night.